Having come from behind a 1-0 deficit, Ricky goes, a pitch kick, and he's going to have it. He does. Ricky Henderson, no contest, steals third base, jerks the bag from its moorings, and holds it aloft, representing number 939.
But now looking into Buster Posey. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On the ground, Arias from deep third, got him! And that's a perfect game. And the Giants mobbing Matt Cain on the pitcher's mound. Swung on and hammered, high, deep to left, away, out of here!
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Taps and Jacks. I'm your host, Jordan Stacks on Stacks Lads. Joined as always with my guy, Mr. Big Ball and Ben Larson.
Yes, sir.
Sunday night, live and direct. We are doing the NL Central preview today. So welcome. How we doing tonight, Ben?
Not too bad, man. Nice, productive weekend. Trying to get my phone to fucking charge, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, good Sunday. Looking forward to another week closer to opening day.
Yes. Yep, we are closer to opening day. The Dodgers and Cubs, I think they actually fly to Japan this week. I think tomorrow or sometime this week they fly to Japan, and we'll be over there because they're going to do exhibition games with some of the MPB teams, and then they'll play each other.
When does that actually start?
Well, the game isn't until like the following week, but like
18th, right?
Yeah. But I think they leave on Wednesday or Thursday this week.
Nice.
I think.
Yes, I mean, we really got 3 weeks until baseball starts, but then, I mean, we do have to wait another, week after that to have our real opening day?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this, like, fucking have a regular season game, then 2 more weeks of spring training, or a week and a half, or whatever it is, and then back to the regular season. Like,
yeah, because regular season doesn't start until Thursday, March 27th.
Yeah, and I get it for like those 2 teams because, like, you know, obviously they have to like come back to the States and get reacclimated and stuff, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Just more time we gotta wait. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Had a great weekend. Had a really good night last night. I was up till like 4 a.m. on these fucking Twitter Spaces, dude.
Woo.
And just
crazy.
But it's just comedy, dude. Next thing you know, you like look at your fucking phone and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning and you're like, oh shit, I gotta fucking go to sleep.
Yep, I feel you on that. Definitely feel you on that, especially during the week when you got work in the morning. It's just like, oh man.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, I try to stay out of that shit in the weekday, but weekdays they usually end earlier.
Yeah, that's me getting caught into 2 a.m. after just watching a couple episodes of something like, oh shit, how'd it get to this time?
Yep.
Here we go.
Yep. Shout out Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. Paradise has got me there.
Did you finish? Are you caught up on Paradise?
No, not yet.
How many episodes in are you?
I'm only 3 episodes in, so.
I mean, you're halfway through.
Yeah.
There's only 7 episodes, or are we through 6 or 7 right now? So
through 7, 8 comes out this week.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah. So I mean, Paradise is a great show, but it's one of those shows that as I've watched it every week, Ben, I'm like, fuck, dude, I should have waited till the whole fucking thing came out.
Yeah, so you can just watch it all the way through.
Yeah. What are you sipping on over there?
So I got another local one today. This is from Walnut Creek, so about 45 minutes kind of north of kind of the San Jose area, South Bay area. And this is called Hazy Days IPA. So it's kind of like a cover of their Cool Kids IPA. But the Cool Kids IPA is not a hazy, so they made the hazy of the Cool Kids.
Who makes that? Who does that?
So this is Cali Craft.
Yeah, that's right. Because I've had the Cool Kids IPA.
Really cool brewery, I guess tap room. You don't actually get to see the brewery, but really cool tap room. Kind of very woodsy vibe for not being in the woods, in the forest, and it does kind of take you out of the.
Where are they at?
Walnut Creek,
okay.
But they're in the industrial Walnut Creek.
Okay.
So like you step outside and you're just like, oh, this is warehouse after warehouse after warehouse. But when you're in there, it's actually like a super nice tap room. So, really good beer. You get the notes of hoppiness on the smell. It did have a nice head on it. Poured it a little bit ago though, so
nice.
It's it's subsided a little bit, but Cali Craft is a really cool beer. I haven't had their hazy yet, so I figured gotta try it.
Hell yeah, nice, love it. We'll hear about that at the end of the show. See how it tastes. All right, so let's hop into the NL Central here. So, NL Central is obviously the God, who won the Central last year? The fucking Brewers won the Central last year.
The Brewers, yeah. But they're like, this is like the redheaded stepchild of the NL.
I actually think this division's kind of deep.
Zero.
I think it's deep. I think they got I think the Reds and the Brewers are definitely playoff potential teams. Like both those teams could potentially make the playoffs, and then the Pirates are definitely like a dark horse, and we'll talk about it. I think the Cardinals are I think they're gonna have a fucking terrible year.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about that too. But I think this is an intriguing. And the Cubs, Brewers, and Reds. I think all three of those teams have solid potential to make the playoffs.
Well, yeah, solid potential to make the playoffs because any of these teams can win the division. But that second team is not getting a playoff spot.
Yeah, likely.
No.
I mean, probably
with
not.
the NL West and NL East. No, there's no way.
Yeah, the NL
this is going to be a one team division.
Probably, but I've seen crazier shit happen, and they get to play the fucking. Because I mean, the Cardinals still might be competitive. They're just not going to be very.
Yeah,
good.
I mean, and you can go to the AL East, and you can say, oh, you have to play Miami. You get all those wins. You go to the NL West, and you got to play Colorado, so you get all those wins.
But the thing about Colorado is, like, no matter how bad Colorado is, they're always decent at home.
One of us is frozen. I think it's Jordan.
Nah, it's definitely you.
Oh, no, it's me.
Yep, it is you.
It is me. I just got my internet is unstable. That's interesting.
But
so I was saying, I think before I got cut off, like you have the Marlins, who, all the teams in the NL East are gonna get, a bunch of wins over. You've got the Rockies in the NL West that you got a bunch of teams that are gonna get wins over. So, I mean, I think this division is gonna be solo.
I mean, it very well could, but I could also see a scenario where two of the teams are fighting. Because let's be honest, dude. Yes, the NL West has like the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, but I mean, aside from those two, like, I would put the Padres on the same level as the Brewers this year and the fucking Cubs. And I would also put like the Phillies, Mets, and Braves like on that same kind of level. Like I think the Dodgers are obviously head and shoulders like better than the rest of the league, and then I would probably put like, you know, a handful of teams like right behind there, and two of those, and maybe three of them, the Reds could very well potentially be one of those teams. I think three of these teams in this division are going to be playoff caliber teams. Does that mean that two or three make the playoffs? No, but they're going to be fighting for the wild card. Like it's going to come down to like the last week of the season for the wild card in the NL for sure.
Yeah.
There's going to be
I
like
agree
six
with that.
teams vying for the 3 spots.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
So let's talk about this division. So the Pirates have the lowest win total, but as you alluded, I mean the Cardinals have a lower win total in some books, but consensus, they basically have the same. The Pirates are anywhere from 76.5 to 77.5 games. What's your thoughts on the Pirates?
I mean, pitching is going to be what saves them again. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about that. You've got Skeens, Keller, and Jones as your 1, 2, 3, and I think that's that's probably one of the more formidable starting rotation, starting 3 at least in in the NL,
And just wait till
possibly in baseball.
if Bubba Chandler starts the season with them too. I mean, that's a very good pitching staff.
Yeah, and I mean, I would love for Bubba Chandler to start the season at a starter and knock off Bailey Falter he is a struggle bus. I mean, Andrew Heaney is as well, but
Just need that back end to just eat innings, dude.
yeah, and that's what they're gonna have to do. Because the drop off from your 3 to 4 starter is just night and day difference.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is that's the problem with the Pirates is your pitching is so good, but your offense is, at least in previous years, struggled and been the problem putting up runs on the table. Are we gonna get the O'Neill Cruz that we saw, year 1, or are we gonna get O'Neill Cruz from last year, which wasn't bad, but he wasn't great, and he was fighting injury last year, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
It's the last 2 years. Well, last year not so much. The year before he missed basically the entire year.
Yeah. Broken ankle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think adding Tommy Pham is really it doesn't push any needle over. You added Adam Frazier, doesn't push any needle over.
No.
So I mean, I think this is going to be close to what we saw last year with the Pirates. So a 76.5, 77.5. I'd lean over on this one because you are getting, you are going to get your top rotation. Your Skeens is going to be playing the full year. Keller had a down year last year, so you hope that you can get something better than what we saw last year out of him. So I mean, I lean over on this.
Yeah. I'm kind of.
I'm not going to bet it, but I lean it.
Yeah. My issue with the Pirates is like you lost Aroldis Chapman, you lost Michael Taylor, you lost Brian De La Cruz, and like they're basically and they brought in Tommy Pham, and I don't hate the move. Like it's it's like you said, it's not gonna like push the needle over, but I still think he's a quality player. Their pitching staff their starting rotation is going to carry them.
Mm-hmm.
Their bullpen is like very it's like not great, but it's not terrible. If David Bednar can bounce back, he had a bad year last year. If he bounces back, this could be a much better bullpen. But I mean, you lost your top reliever from last year in Aroldis Chapman, and so that's a huge blow. I mean, in maybe Jack Swinski comes back up, Ben, and I mean, Swinsky has a ton of fucking power. It's just the guy fucking is like 40% strikeout rate, dude. Like he just strikes out. Like he doesn't even get on base. He either hits a home run or strikes out. And like that's the problem with Joey Gallo, dude. You know what I mean? Like you just can't be doing that shit. So, but I mean, maybe he comes up. Maybe Henry Davis finds something, and they get both those guys, and this offense can produce a little bit more because. I'm sorry, a team with Andrew McCutchen at fucking 39 years old, bro. Like that's just not gonna cut it. You know what I mean? And
amazing in the clubhouse, but man, he's getting old.
But the Pirates will be better than the Cardinals, dude.
Agree. Oh, 100% agree.
Like I definitely believe that. And you know, I think O'Neal Cruz is gonna have a good year. I think he's gonna bounce back now that he's in center field. But yeah, I mean they
for the full year.
Yeah, they need O'Neal Cruz, and they also need like Cabrian Hayes to be consistent offensively. Joey Bart, obviously, he had a really good year, but he's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
And yeah, like this is a team that like could potentially be fighting for a wild card spot, but it's also a team that could be fucking terrible.
Out of it in July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I lean more to the latter. Like, you know, I think that they're going to be a better team, much improved team, just based on their starting rotation alone.
So that would be the former.
Sorry. Yeah, former rather than the latter.
Yeah.
You know, just on their starting rotation alone, like I think that they'll be floating with 500, and if they can get any offensive production, dude, then you know who knows where this team could be. You know what I mean?
I'm just worried about like one injury to that starting rotation in the top three.
But you can say that for like everyone, dude.
That's true. That's very true.
Like you can't replace either Skeens or Jared Jones or Bubba Chan. Like those aren't replaceable guys, dude.
Yeah.
You know, but that goes for like any team, bro. Like very few teams can lose an ace and like
that's true.
Still fucking get through the season.
Yeah. You're 100% right.
I mean, they just got to get consistent offense.
Offensively, yeah.
You know, like they can't be winning like 2-1 games all the time or losing 2-1 games, dude. Like, and that's where this team was last year, bro. Like they couldn't generate offense consistently. Like they would have like 2-week stretches where they would rake and then they would like score a run for like 6 days straight.
Yeah.
You just can't do that.
Yep.
And then sorry Ben, but the games that they like rake are fucking Skeens games. It's like the one game where like you could afford to like not hit. They just fucking explode on offense, and then the next game they fucking score 1 run and their pitcher gives up 2.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right. The bullpen is going to be questionable.
But it has good potential. Like Dennis Santana was good. Chris Holderman, like he had a good year 2 years ago. So I mean, like they got guys, right? Like Caleb Ferguson, he's like pretty decent reliever. Mulzinski has really good stuff. He's just kind of young and kind of figuring it out. He could have a good year. So I mean, yeah, dude. Like I think that, like I don't think their bullpen is like terrible, but if Bednar is as bad as last year, then God, dude, that terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is the 4th best team in the division.
Yeah, but I could see them
on paper.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. All right, let's move over to the St. Louis Cardinals. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up their thing. Their win total is anywhere from 75.5 to 77.5. Yeah, I mean the Cardinals, just to like recap some of their offseason, they lost Kyle Gibson.
Nothing.
Yeah, they basically just lost. Lost Lance Lynn, lost Paul Goldschmidt, lost Andrew Kittredge, who was one of their top relievers last year, lost Giovanni Gallardos, Matt Carpenter. And they didn't really add a ton. You know, they're really relying on their young guys. So what do you think about the St. Louis Cardinals here.
Yeah, I mean, they really. I think the only thing that was a positive coming out of this was getting rid of Goldschmidt, and yes, he had a. I mean, he's had a bad like year and a half. So it does look like there is a downhill trend there. And he was horrendous last year. So that I think is really gonna be
Who was horrendous?
Goldschmidt.
Goldschmidt, yeah. Goldschmidt was bad last year.
So I think that's an addition by subtraction.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like you are hoping Wilson Contreras comes back from injury, playing strongly. You're hoping for the development of Mason Wynn and Jordan Walker. They should, especially Mason Wynn had an outstanding year last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, then you just look at all of these old guys and hope they don't fucking twist an ankle and pull a hamstring.
Well, the one thing I'll say about the age is like their lineup should be pretty young with Gorman, Walker, Mason Wynn, Lars Nootbaar. I mean, like these are all guys that are like relatively young. The problem with the Cardinals the last few years is that they haven't let these young guys grow. Like Nolan Gorman was one of their best hitters last year, and like the guy couldn't even fucking get into the lineup every day, right? Jordan Walker struggled and like never really got consistent opportunities at the major league level. However, both these guys are, were once very highly touted prospects. I mean,
yes,
the comparisons to Jordan Walker was getting, I mean, were insane, dude. Like we're talking one of the best hitters ever is what he was projected. And he's only 22. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that player is still in there. He's still fucking young, dude. And now they're going to be forced to play these guys every day, right? So now they're going to really get that opportunity. So, the Cardinals to me are another wild card team. The difference between the Cardinals and the Pirates and the Reds, in my opinion, is that I just don't think their starting rotation, is very deep. Eric Fedde had a career year last year. Does he duplicate that? I don't know.
Likely not. Yeah.
Sonny Gray's 35 years old, great pitcher, but he also, wasn't as good as his previous season the year before. And then after that, then, Mikolas is just fucking dog shit. Yeah, Andre Payante.
6.5.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Andre Payante, like, he has decent stuff, but he's never projected to be like a top of the line starter. So, and Steven Matz should be pretty good.
At your number 5, yeah.
He's pretty decent.
He's a good number 5, but I don't.
He was hurt last year too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a good 5. Like I would take that. I would take Steven Matz in the back end of my rotation.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's gonna be a tough year for them again, and it just you have the one addition by subtraction, but other than that, which again is good, that's gonna get more playing time, in for these young guys. You just gotta hope that they produce and don't go into any slumps basically throughout the whole season.
Well, I mean, because they're going to really extended slumps. You can't afford those extended slumps.
Yeah, because they're going to need every single bat here to win games with this pitching staff.
Yep. The back end of their bullpen's pretty good, though.
Yeah, Helsley closing it.
Yeah, Liberator, when they moved him into the bullpen last year, he was a lot better. I mean, and Jojo Romero is like a top guy, too. So they actually do have a pretty good bull. Like I wouldn't say. I mean, it's a good bullpen. I don't know about great bullpen, but it is a good bullpen.
It's above average.
Yeah. Agree with that. So I mean, the Cardinals are a tough one, but I do think they're going to be under. I do think they're going to be the worst team in this division.
Yeah, the win total is difficult for me here.
Yeah.
Because you're saying this team is going to be 8 games less than where they were last year.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to be 8 games
But
less.
the thing is though, and maybe the only reason why they do go less is because this division is going to be better. Like the Cubs are better, the Reds are better,
Yeah.
the Pirates are better. So I mean, like everybody is better in this division, and the Cardinals just basically stayed the same, just relying on their young guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in that sense, I think that's why it's very difficult to judge this team because like, yeah, if Nolan Gorman and Jordan Walker play to their potential and Brendan Donovan and Alec Burleson, like this could be a really fucking good team.
Mhm.
But I mean, we've been saying this about these guys for fucking 2 years now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. But I love Mason Wynn, man. Shout out Mason Wynn.
Absolutely.
Fucking love Mason Wynn. He's a great fucking player. And when Lars Nootbaar's healthy, he's hella good. He just gotta stay healthy. He can't stay healthy.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
So this is like we were talking about in the beginning, man. This division is tough, bro. It's not as like deep with like good high end teams like the fucking NL East and maybe the NL West, but it's a lot of good young teams in this division.
Yeah.
Which makes it a wild card division.
And I think they're moving to where the AL Central is that in a couple of years, this is going to be with all of these young guys on these teams on the Reds, Pirates, and Cards, the kind of lower half of this division. They are going to make moves, and this is going to be a much tougher division once these guys get 3-4 years under their belt.
Yeah, the problem is that like usually this division historically gets dominated by the Cubs and the fucking Cardinals because they're the two biggest markets in the division. And the Brewers, the Pirates, they've really operated, and the Reds too have operated in the sense of like small market teams where like once guys get good, they trade them before they have to pay them, and so they can get stuff in return, which is why it's very difficult to say like, yeah, this division could be really good in 3 years, because in 3 years, half these guys on the Pirates and the Reds and the Brewers could be playing for other people.
That's true. I think the Brewers have kind of made that shift into paying some of these bigger guys.
They got one guy, dude. They traded Devin Williams because they didn't want to pay him.
Yeah.
They got one guy making significant money on that team, Ben, and that's Yelich. And don't get me wrong, dude. I'm not saying that it's the wrong way of like going about building your team. I'm just saying that it's very hard for these teams to sustain long-term success because of the financial boundaries that they have.
Yeah, I mean, Peralta gets paid. They're going to have to pay Churio a lot. But
if in 2 or 3 years, Ben, the Brewers aren't good, they're gonna trade Churio.
God. Yeah.
And think of the return he's gonna get.
Yeah.
Because it allows you to it kickstarts a rebuild a lot quicker than if you lose that player to free agency. And it's not even necessarily that like they can't pay him. It's the fact that like these big market teams come in and will pay those dudes an exorbitant amount of money, right?
Yeah.
Like imagine fucking the Reds paying a guy $400 million. Like, dude, they just can't do that, bro. Like they wouldn't be able to afford a fucking team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you could afford a few big contracts, but they couldn't afford a fucking $60 million a year player, $50 million a year player. Like, that would fucking absolutely eat up their fucking salary cap. Their salary.
Yelich, $23 million average. Rhys Hoskins, 17. Then Jackson at 10. Wow, Jackson's contract is through 2031. And that's only 17 million in 2031. So
Jackson Churio?
Yeah.
Oh, they locked him up through ARB then.
Yep, 8-year, $82 million.
Oh, they got him through ARB and then some.
Yep. Let's see. Where are my pitchers?
It's got to
Well,
be
that's
so
just-
tough for a player.
Peralta is only at 8. That's interesting. Woodruff 8.75. Contreras 6.1. Wow, they really aren't getting paid.
And Contreras is going to be I think he's a unrestricted free agent at the end of the season too. So
Contreras is 2026 club option of 12 million.
oh, they're gonna fucking take that.
Yeah.
12 million is a fucking steal.
Freddie Peralta club option of 8. Mutual option on Brandon Woodruff at 20. And a mutual option for Hoskins at 18.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean they don't make that much money. So imagine if they had the kind of payroll. But again, like that's how those teams have to operate. So
much smaller than I expected.
you know. All right, let's move over to the Reds. So the Reds win total is anywhere from 78.5 to 79.5. They had a pretty good offseason, man. Like they really they went out and they're trying to, really make a playoff push, and going and getting Terry Francona as the manager, I think really proved a lot of things to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And made a lot of, therefore everything after kind of makes a ton of sense. They traded for Gavin Lux. Matt McLain comes back from injury, who we talked about in the top 10 second baseman.
Yep.
They re-signed Brent Suter. They re-signed Nick Martinez. And Austin Wins.
Went out and got Brady Singer.
Oh yeah, they also traded for Brady Singer. They traded Jonathan India for Singer. So this is an interesting team, Ben. What's your thoughts on them?
Yeah, this is actually my favorite bet of this division. On the over here. I think really the big thing is that the pitching staff has to stay healthy. We've had injury after injury in this pitching staff over the years, and that is going to be really the determining factor here. Hunter Green has to stay healthy. Lodolo has to stay healthy. Like to see again another good number 5 in Andrew Abbott. Want to see kind of Brady Singer, take that step. I know he's had 4 pretty good years, but he was injured one of those years too, right?
Yeah, and Brady Singer was like a top prospect, and actually Brady Singer was really fucking dominant against righties last year, which is why there was like a lot of talk about him moving into the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
But the Reds do think that like he just needed to add another out pitch, and that's why he struggled against lefties for the most part. So we'll see how that works out. Because if he can come into the form, he was a first round pick when he got drafted, like
18th overall. Yep.
We're talking like a high level prospect. So if he comes around, dude, and you get a healthy Nick Lodolo and Rhett Lauder comes up and is, Rhett Lauder was the 2nd overall draft pick, right? So if you get these guys to perform to their capabilities, this is a very good team. But I'll say this. I think just being healthy for the Reds is a huge step forward. And adding Terry Francona, in my opinion, adds a few more wins on the season. Like, Terry Francona is a World Series winning manager. Like, that dude knows how to fucking win.
No, absolutely. And I think Matt McLain playing more games is a huge win. I know India was DH a lot last year as well. When McLain was in, but getting him every game reps at second, I think is going to be a huge success for this team.
Yeah, and I think Gavin Lux is going to play well too, Ben.
Yeah. Yep.
Not having that pressure.
Jonathan India was nothing like he was his rookie year.
Nah. Yeah.
So, I think that is I don't know if I'd go to the level of addition by subtraction like we're seeing with Goldschmidt, but it is still good to get those players in there, get McLain in there, get Gavin over to third. You've got Ellie at shortstop, Candelario at first. You've got a great infield there.
They got a great team.
Yeah.
Then you brought in, like Austin Hayes, and like Austin Hayes had a bad year, but he's still like a veteran presence, and like you put 2 World Series winners in. Oh, Austin Hayes doesn't win a World Series, but he's played in the playoffs. And then you put Gavin Lux, who like just won a World Series. You know what I mean? Like, and that kind of wisdom goes a long ways, dude. Like having those kind of people in the locker room, especially when this has been, relatively a very young team for the last few years. So
you add Jose Trevino, who's won a World Series too.
Yeah. Trevino?
Yeah, wasn't he?
He played in the World Series.
Okay, that's right. New York hasn't won one in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Never mind.
And then their bullpen, I thought getting Taylor Rogers was a solid move. Like the guy's a solid pitcher. Alexis Diaz, if he bounces back to the Alexis Diaz 2 years ago, I mean, he was nasty, bro.
Yeah. Taylor Rogers, the lesser of the twins.
Yeah, I think the righty Taylor Rogers is better than the lefty, but I still think Taylor Rogers is. I mean, you can any lefty that throws 97 is always gonna have a place.
Yeah. He was not good last year though.
He's had a bad, like he's like so up and down, bro. Like he's very up and down. But I also think Suter's like really good. Sam Mole's out a good out of the bullpen. Pagan had a really good year last year. Hopefully he can come back. And I think adding Graham Ashcraft to the bullpen, getting him out of being from a starter, I think that's huge. I think he'll be a good reliever. I like this team, man.
On Spencer Steer?
Steer should be back by opening day, I believe.
Okay.
But even if he's not, like they got the depth in the lineup
absolutely
to go without him.
Encarnacion Strand, you've got Trevino, you've got Stuart Fairchild, sitting on the bench.
Yeah, they got even Santiago Espinal, dude. He's all good.
Yeah.
So they got a ton of fucking depth. I'm telling you, bro, Terry Francona, I think there's like 3 managers in baseball that I would be like, if I was, handicapping a game, I would like use their manager as like a bonus in a game. Terry Francona, AJ Hinch, and that's
Bochy.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
Bochy like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, like Bochy's won a lot, but man, like AJ Hinch and Terry Francona, like whenever they make like pinch hit moves or something, like it always fucking works, and it's so fucking weird, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bruce Bochy's like probably the greatest bullpen manager. Like the guy can manage a game pitching wise, like very well. Obviously, he was a catcher, but he knows when to put guys in certain situations, and when to, like he's very quick to like pull a guy from being a closer, whereas like other teams will be like, nah, that he's a closer. Like Bochy will fucking go to the next guy that's getting it done very quickly. He did it from Brian Wilson to Sergio Romo, and then even in 2017 when they won the World Series, when he put Madison Bumgarner in there for fucking 4 innings because he didn't trust any other reliever, dude. You know what I mean? So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But Francona's one of them, and I think Francona adds a few wins just alone.
Yep.
To this.
Agree.
But we're aligned here on the Reds for sure.
Yep. All
right, let's move over, Ben. Let's move to the Milwaukee Brewers. Their win total is anywhere from 82.5 to 84.5, depending on the book. What do you think about the Milwaukee Brewers?
Brewers are tough too. I mean, this is really asking them to drop 10 games, and it could happen. You've got a lot of guys that left the Brewers this year, and you're hoping that the guys that are hot stay hot, and you're asking for a lot of guys to fill in holes that are really big holes. You bring in Nestor Cortez, Nestor the Molester, and I mean he's a good. I mean in that rotation, I think he's probably a good number 3 spot where they've got him behind Myers and Peralta, but he's been showing signs of decline.
Who?
Cortez, Nestor.
Oh yeah.
So, how much more is he going to continue to decline? You get Savali back, who was injured last year, correct?
Aaron Savali.
Yeah.
He pitched.
Was it last year or the year before that he was injured?
No. He pitched last year. Remember, because we were talking about him because he got traded from Tampa Bay and then he gained 40 pounds, dude. It felt like, bro, he got hella big all of a sudden.
Yeah, he pitched okay, so it was in 2023 that he was injured. He only pitched in 22 games, 23 games.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this about their rotation, Ben. Their rotation was a problem last year, and they still fucking won the division.
Yeah.
They have a really good bullpen, and it doesn't even matter who the fuck they the Brewers they're like the Rays, dude. They just churn out good fucking relievers all the time, bro. I could not even recognize a name in there, and I would just know because he's on the Brewers that he's gonna end up being a fucking decent reliever. But with that said, I do think their rotation is fucking awful, and even Freddie Peralta had a bad year last year. They're gonna need Brandon Woodruff to come back, and they're gonna need fucking DL Hall to come back healthy, and those two guys are gonna be even Gasser. And Gasser is not even coming back this year, probably.
Yeah.
But he was one of their top prospects. But if they can get Hall, Woodruff, and I mean their lineup's good. Will William Contreras have the year that he had last year? I think losing Adames is fucking massive, but you get Christian Yelich back, and Jackson Chourio and fucking Joey Ortiz are studs, and fucking Bryce Terang is also.
Hall is going to be out for at least 6 weeks. He's got a shoulder strain.
Yeah, so that's fucking terrible.
Sorry, strained lat. But he's going to be out to start the season.
Yeah, so he's going to miss at least first 2 weeks of the season.
Probably more than that.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. So, I do worry about this team because they have some offensive firepower, but no, they have some good offensive firepower in Chourio, Yelich, Contreras,
Frelick.
Terang.
Oh yeah,
Frelick,
Terang.
Ortiz. Yeah.
They just all their power, they're really relying on fucking Contreras and Hoskins and Chourio.
And Chourio.
And Ortiz has potential to be, to really hit. He hits the ball hard.
Mm-hmm.
This team is they're a good baseball team, bro. That's the thing is last year they just manufactured runs, and their bullpen was fucking nails. And if they can do that again, this could be a good team. But I don't know. Just like the Cardinals, I think just by nature of this division getting better, I think knocks the Brewers down from 93. Now 10 games worse, that's tough, bro. That's a lot of games, dude.
That's a lot of games difference. And you're going to have Yelich back for potentially the whole year.
Yeah, but you also lose Adames.
Yes. Yeah.
But Adames isn't worth fucking 10 games.
No. I wish he was, but no.
And the thing with Yelich too is, Yelich is hurt every fucking year. So you could basically bank on Yelich missing fucking 40 games, dude. You just got to account for him for 120 or less. When's the last time you played 120 plus games?
2023.
But he was not good in 2023.
He played 144 games in 2023 with a 278 average. On base percentage of 370 and a slugging of 477. 2023, he was good. 2022, he had 154 games. 2021, 117. He played 58 out of the 60 in 2020. Really, last year, just playing 73 games.
Damn, I feel like he's hurt more than that, but shit.
It was that, like, 2021, 2019, he only played 130 games.
Yeah.
But, like, 2014, 15, 16, 17, all over 125. 2021, he was hurt. So, he should. I mean, he is the heart of that team. So,
Nah, he definitely is the heart of that team for sure. Jackson Trio is he's gonna be their best player though.
100%. Kid's a stud.
Yeah.
No question about that at all.
They're a wild card, man. Like I mean, I would definitely not play their under win total.
No.
I mean, maybe
I'd lean the over.
Yeah.
But it's not enough of a lean to bet it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the win total is pretty like spot on, like 84-ish games.
Yep.
I think that's pretty fair. All right, let's move over to
10 games is a lot though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's a huge drop off, but at the same time is like, you know, this division just got better, dude.
Yeah.
Like every team got better, and like one of them is the Cubs.
Yep.
The Cubs win total is anywhere from 85.5 to 87.5. And they're the favorites to win this division this year. They lost, they didn't really lose a ton, but they did trade for Kyle Tucker.
Yep.
So what's your thoughts on the Cubs, Ben?
Didn't they just have somebody get hurt too? Was that the Cubs?
Assad.
Like yesterday?
Javier Assad.
No, that wasn't who I was. Maybe it was. Yeah, who pitched out of his mind last year. But
yeah,
I think I really like what they did this offseason. I think they, out of this division, they won the offseason. In the NL, I'd probably put them at like 2 or 3 of offseason moves. The depth that they built in this lineup is outstanding. Again, Kyle Tucker is going to be your mover, needle mover, to push us up. But I mean, offensively, I think this team is very talented. You've got some young guys here that have the potential to really become great players in Pico Crow Armstrong, in Amaya, in Tucker. I mean, Tucker is already a great player. Michael Bush. They definitely need to continue taking those steps up, but they are a really good team. I like the additions of Carson Kelly. I mean, their whole bench: Justin Turner, Birdie, Vidal Brujan. I think Brujan's going to take advantage of getting out of Miami. I liked what Colin Ray did last year for Milwaukee. So having him in the back of your lineup, Jameson Taillon does scare the hell out of me. It's like their top 2 starters. If they can get Assad back at some point, your top 3 starters are good. It's the bottom of that lineup that kind of scares me.
The bottom of the rotation?
So rotation, excuse me. Yeah.
But they're inning eaters, and they'll keep their team in games, and their offense should be good enough to like overcome a couple bad starts here and there. Like I think they're good back end of the rotation kind of guys. I think this is a great team, man. I think this is going to be a really good team.
Yeah.
I honestly, that's what I was saying before. Like I honestly think the Cubs, the Reds, and the Brewers are really going to fight for this division, and the team that doesn't win the division, I think, is going to be fighting for one of the last wild cards. Like The NL is pretty deep, dude. The NL is a pretty deep,
NL's very deep. Yeah.
deep. It's a very deep league. So I think a lot of these teams, like, there's going to be like 6 to 7 teams. I believe in the last month that are going to be within reach of the last wild card, and I think 3 of these teams are in this division. I think the Cubs are really good. I think Shota is going to regress from last year. Like, there's no way he duplicates last year. I don't even think Javier Assad would either. If you look at, like, both of those guys' advanced metrics, like their xFIP, it's much higher than their ERA, so shows that they had a ton of luck. And I think another year of Shota, like, the guy only throws like 90 miles an hour, Ben, his fastball. Like,
Yeah.
and he somehow gets like hella swing and miss on it. But I just, and the guy wasn't even, like, he was an average dude in the MPB.
Yeah.
So I just think he's coming back to earth, bro. And the rotation in itself, you know, kind of concerns me in the long run. But I love Justin Steele. I think Justin Steele's a great fucking pitcher.
Yep.
I just think this team's offense is going to be so good, dude, that it's going to overcome their starting pitching woes if they have any. And their bullpen is fucking great. They have a really good bullpen.
This would be like an over game total, or sorry, over in your game totals.
Yeah, it's just tough because their bullpen's good.
Yeah.
Like, they had one of the best bullpens in baseball the second half of last year.
So like take it as a team total over.
Yeah, they're gonna be like one of those team total, but those.
Yeah. It also depends on if they're at home, what those wins are doing.
Yeah. But I mean, they can win in so many different ways. Like, they don't need the long ball to win because they have like a lot of good contact hitters. They have a lot of good base runners. You know what I mean? So, like, and they have a really good manager in Craig Counsell, who manages the bullpen well and he manages in game well. So, like, this is gonna be this is gonna be a really good team, dude.
Mm-hmm.
This team is definitely gonna be. I think they go over, dude. I think it's a 90-win team.
90-win team. Wow. I think this number is right on mine. In that kind of 80, 87 area.
The Reds are by far my favorite play in this division, though.
Oh, 100%. And I think Reds, if you're looking at to win the division too, I think Reds is a great option there.
Yeah.
You know, you can get them anywhere from 450 to 550. And I think that's a good enough play to take them as division winners there. I don't think the Cubs being at anywhere from plus 110 to minus 115.
Yeah, no, I don't love the Cubs, but I do think they're the best team in this division.
Agreed.
But not at
Brewers,
a plus $1.10, dude. That's fucking crazy, bro.
No.
That's nah.
The Brewers you can get anywhere from plus 260 to plus 375.
I take the Brewers at like 375.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you can find that 375, I see it at Bally and I see it at Regent. You know, that's a good play there. Reds anywhere from plus 450 to plus 550. I mean, I love that 550.
Yeah, I think 450 is a fair price too on the Reds.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like 450 to 5 to 1. I think is a good price on the Reds.
Yeah. So, and then you get into the Pirates anywhere from plus 700 to plus 1,000. Cardinals are sitting plus 800 in a couple books, and then plus 1,200 in a couple others. So,
yeah, I definitely think the Cardinals are the worst team in this division.
Yep.
And then the Pirates, but the Pirates could be like a wild card. Like, I could definitely see them being better. But I definitely love the Reds over. I love the Reds. I think the price to win this division is very good. Because, you know, I think they have just as good a chance as the fucking Brewers, dude. And the Brewers are priced at, like, what did you say, plus 280?
Plus 260 to plus 375.
Yeah. They should be the same price as the fucking Reds,
yeah.
And then I like the Cubs over 86.5. There's some 85 or 85.5. If you can get it, I think that's pretty fair price.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think they're a 90-win team. Like, if they win 90 flat, they're a 90-win. I mean, they're gonna win between 90 and 95 games. for sure. The offense is just too good.
Yeah.
And the offense carries you in the regular season more often than not. And their bullpen's really fucking good too. So even if their starters regress a little bit, like they're still going to be good.
I think their starters are going to regress a lot of it, but offensively, you hope that they can hold it.
No, you don't even have to hope. Like, they're going to be better offensively. I mean, just adding Kyle Tucker to that lineup makes them significantly better.
Yeah.
Because last year, Ben, they didn't really have like a home run threat, dude. Like Paredes, Christopher Morel was the guy they hoped they would be.
Mm-hmm.
But he just swings and misses too much. But if, you had Kyle Tucker to that lineup, and now you got like a legit middle of the fucking order guy, and like the rest of the guys can like fall in line, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So how big of a difference, by games do you think like Cody Bellinger is compared to Kyle Tucker?
Dude, Kyle Tucker is
how many more games does that give you?
Over Bellinger?
Yeah.
Like 4.5 to 6.
Okay.
That's it. That's assuming both play 160 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Kyle Tucker's way fucking better, dude. Like, I'll give Bellinger this. Like, Bellinger is a really good defensive outfielder and first baseman, which like gives him some value there, just because he's so good defensively in multiple positions. That's like very huge for like a manager. But like the guy is just like not the guy that he once was at the plate.
No.
That MVP year. And like he's never been that guy since that MVP year.
Yep.
He had that like good 3/4 of the season 2 seasons ago. And then he had that like shitty ass September, and then it fucking just like rolled into last year.
Yeah.
And he's back to being like that 220 hitter. You know what I mean? And like if you play first base, bro, like I at least need some offensive production from you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're playing Gold Glove center field, then I can forgive a little bit of offensive production.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too, man. I think this is a very good defensive team.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like they have multiple Gold Glovers in multiple positions. Pete Crow Armstrong will be a Gold Glover. Dansby's a Gold Glover. Horner's a Gold Glover. You know what I mean? Like they have really good defensive players in important positions as well.
Is Horner a Gold Glover?
Yes, Horner won a Gold Glove 2 years ago, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because him and Dansby won the same year. There was like the Gold Glove in middle infield.
Huh, okay.
So they could play defense.
Yeah.
Which also helps your pitchers.
What's that?
Which also helps your pitchers.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, and this is going to be one of the better outfields in the league, too.
Offensively or defensively? Or both?
Both.
Yeah.
And I know Kyle Tucker isn't, like, incredible in right field, but he's
above
good.
average for sure.
Yeah, Ian Happ, I'd probably say, is above average defensively, and Pete Crow Armstrong has the speed that you need for a center fielder.
Oh yeah, PCH, and he has an arm too.
Yeah,
dude, he's going to be a future Gold Glover for sure. He made some incredible plays last year defensively, and then his bat came along, and it's like, oh, okay, this is a really good player.
Well, and he's going to get a full season in, which is going to be great.
Yep, agree. All right.
He played 123 games last year.
Yeah, but he really struggled the first like couple months he was up.
Yeah, a lot more than I thought.
But then he like started swinging it at the end of the last year.
Yeah.
The reason why he played so much to begin with was because he was so good defensively that they were like, "Fuck,
yeah, we got to get you in there."
Yeah. All right, let's get our best bets for this division, Ben. What do we like?
I really only have one that I absolutely love, and that's the Reds over. I think
It's over 77.5, right?
78.5 to 79.5. I can pull up what it actually is, kind of at this moment.
I like it over any of those numbers.
Yeah, I'm fine with either of those. But I think that's my favorite bet there. I don't want to say that I love taking the division, because you're right, any of these three teams can take the division, but I think for the value, the Reds division is kind of the best play there.
Agree. I think just based on the math, the odds, Reds 5-1, 550, I think is great.
Reds at 78.5 right now.
Yeah, and then I'm saying for the division.
Oh no, I know. I'm just saying for the win totals,
78.5
right now.
Yeah, I would play.
I think they're at least a 500 team.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd play it up to 80.5 to be honest.
Yeah.
Even though I think like they're gonna be fighting for a wild card or even the division.
78.5 is juiced though.
What is it?
Minus 125.
Makes sense. I'll play it to 80.5.
Yeah, I just put in 78.5 right now.
And then I also like I lean Cubs over 87.5.
Yeah.
I do think they're a 90 win team though.
Yeah. I leaned the over on the Pirates, I leaned the over on the Brewers.
Yep. And I would lean the under the Cardinals, but I really just don't even want to fuck with the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that.
All right, thank you everybody for hanging out with us. If you missed any of the show, you can download it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast fix. Before we get out of here, though, Ben, we gotta know, how was that beer? Did you finish it?
No, I'm only drinking about half of it.
That means he doesn't like it.
It was okay, but it's a heavy hazy.
Yeah.
So this is definitely one that you have to drink slowly. You cannot be drinking this quick. It does have some good notes. I get a lot of like pine smell and taste to it, which is not my favorite, but it is still a good taste. I won't knock it because of my own personal preferences, even though I'm going to give it a score, which is my own personal preference. But I kind of like more of the tropical hazies, and you get a little bit of that, but the pine kind of overpowers it for me. So I'm going to give this one a 3.75.
Nice. That's higher than I thought it was going to be.
I really like the Cool Kids IPA, which is just
that one's
the hazy
good.
of that. Yeah. So really I really like that one. But the hazy just kind of drops it down. Probably like a half point for me. I'd give the Cool Kids probably a 4.25. So
nice. That being said, follow us on Instagram at Taps and Jacks. Follow us on Twitter at Taproom_sports. We'll catch y'all on Tuesday. We're doing the NL West.
Yep.
Come hang out with us. Twitch.tv/taproomsports, YouTube.com/@taproomsports podcast. For Mr. Big Ball and Ben Larson, I'm Jordan Stacks on Stacks Labs. We're out. Peace.
Later.